Welcome to day 3 of Mindful Moms Make Christmas Magic. And I'm Anne, and I'm here with my wonderful friend Michelle. And today we will talk about family traditions. What is your ideal? What works? What doesn't work? What's important? And what is maybe something you want to get rid of this Christmas altogether? So yeah, we briefly mentioned that I'm originally from Germany and I've lived in the UK for a while, and now I live in Mauritius. So Christmas looks quite different for me now compared to what it used to look like. And I've always somehow struggled with Christmas, even when I was living in the UK, um, because I love Christmas. I think Germans do a very good job with Christmas, I have to say. I think it's a very wonderful season there. And I had so many wonderful memories from childhood and traditions from childhood. My mom would make the most amazing food, cookies, marzipan from my grandma, stollen from my grandma. It was all about the food, and I didn't get any of that in the UK, and even less in Mauritius. And then obviously here it's hot. It's summer for us now. It gets 35 degrees. It's humid. I don't know. And Christmas by the beach is just you don't get into the vibe really. And for quite a long time, I was really annoyed with that and upset. And I would try to cook these foods that we would eat, and because it's hot, it just doesn't taste the same somehow. And also, I wouldn't get the right spices here because they don't have them in the shop, and I would get really frustrated. And it wasn't Christmassy at all. And even, I mean, in Germany, we do the present giving on the 24th in the evening. But I felt with like two little kids, when you give them presents at 6 o'clock, it just doesn't quite work for bedtime routine. And so it just really felt awful. I didn't enjoy Christmas at all. So I kind of had to realize that maybe this is not the Christmas that I'm going to have. And also after, I mean, now it's 15 years that I've lived away from Germany. So it was time to let go of some of that,
Yeah.
yeah, of that memory and create my own Christmas. So that's what we've been doing. And it's still not quite like tradition, I would say. We still kind of finding our real Christmas. Like I cook something different every year, for example, because I haven't quite found that Christmas dish yet. I don't know if I ever need it. Maybe I just enjoy the fact that I experiment with food. But yeah, so it was a lot about letting go of expectations and finding out what works. How was your experience, Michelle?
Wow, yeah. I mean, for me, my best Christmas memories are around being with family. Like when I was a child, we used to go to my grandparents a lot, which I loved, and they were some of my strongest Christmas memories. And around food as well. I love how my mum always tries to make different dishes, um, especially with sprouts. She always goes through the Good Housekeeping, the Good Housekeeping magazine, and finds a new sprout recipe or new recipes. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I'd kind of lost a little bit of the Christmas spark through my sort of my 20s. And then it was when I had Isaac, when I was 32, that the magic came back for me again, and I realized that actually this is what Christmas is about for me. It was about, the family. It reignited that spark, the family magic. um and I've spent a couple of Christmases in Australia because I've got a family in Australia, and I've been traveling, and saying about like the beach thing is, I was actually talking to my husband Gary yesterday about it, because my niece is in Australia at the moment, and saying about how it's so weird being somewhere warm at Christmas, because for us it is about the fire, and I've talked already about mulled wine and getting cozy and very very hygge.
Yes.
It's That's for me what it's about. So it is just about finding your own traditions. um and I know that when I was pregnant with Xavier, our youngest, and I was really really ill again, that's when I realized that things could really shake up with the food because I wasn't really eating. We actually ended up serving pie and chips that Christmas to our family who were staying. I couldn't stomach anything else. And it wasn't actually necessarily about what was on the table. It was about who was
Yeah.
around the table.
Yeah.
Um, and so since then, we've always had our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, which is unusual in the UK. It's very continental. I feel very, very continental. And then on Christmas Day, we want to make that all about our boys. We've started having like buffet food, so either like cold meats and cheeses and things, or things that you can just pop in the oven and bring it, party food. So then
Yeah.
we're not a slave to the kitchen, and we can
Exactly.
watch the boys opening their Christmas presents. We can play games and watch films, and it's not all rush, rush, rush. And we actually get the mindful element coming back in again, which is being present in the
Yeah.
day with our children
Exactly.
and with our loved ones. So yeah, traditions can change, definitely. Just because it's a tradition, something you used to do, it can be different. It doesn't have to be. If it doesn't, work anymore, if it doesn't feel right, if you have to adjust because you're in a different country, or family has changed or anything,
Yeah.
they can be
How
changed.
was it for you? Like for me, a very long time, it was like really the attachment of these elements, the food, the mood, the decoration, the feeling, the coziness would make a perfect Christmas. And
Yeah.
because I didn't have this, I felt like it was just not right. Like I had these expectations how Christmas works, and we grow up with the Christmas movies and our own environment and all of that. But I had to realize that there is probably no perfect Christmas. I don't know if you experience the perfect Christmas. I
Yeah,
mean, everything goes as you plan. I'm not sure, but I
I
find it's a myth.
I agree, it's a myth. And I don't believe anything's perfect, and like,
Yeah,
it's because perfect is all about how you perceive something. And for me, where my parents were divorced when I was 6, so I used to spend alternate Christmases with my mum and alternate with my dad. And then depending on, which parent we were with, depended on which grandparents we were
yeah,
with. And so there wasn't really a set Christmas routine, as if you like. And sometimes we'd be actually at our house, sometimes we'd be at the grandparents' house, sometimes we've had the cousins round, sometimes not, and it was just always different. So my expectations were never, I didn't have any expectations as a child, and I
mhm,
think that's actually helped as an
yeah,
adult. um the only the only expectation I had of Christmas was about, I think was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we did a big extension, and we had finally, for the first time in my married life, enough room to host Christmas. And we had 13 people around, um and I made it really, really special. I did like table presents, and like wrapped all up beautifully with a little bow, and I borrowed all the crockery from my work, so everything was matching. Made such a big effort. And the truth is, I didn't actually enjoy it because I put
yeah,
so much expectation on me,
yeah,
that I didn't enjoy myself. And
exactly.
my nana had, she was in hospital that year as well. So it was, I was constantly thinking, I need to get to the hospital. She can't be on her own. I need to get to the hospital.
Yeah,
Um, and the expectation on me was so, the pressure I put on myself was so huge that particular Christmas, that and I've never done it again since.
I
I
agree. Yeah,
We've hosted, but not to the same extent, like not perfect
yeah.
china. People come to our house and they have to put up with the chips and the plates.
Exactly. I mean, I definitely remember like my mom, like I said, the food thing is quite important when I grew up. But I do remember almost every Christmas, my mom would sit down and be like exhausted from cooking all day. And she
Mm.
would literally complain that she spent all this day cooking and then we would eat it in, I don't know, 5 minutes. And everyone would bug off and do their thing. And she was like, oh, now I'm left alone with the dishes. Like I did have that memory, and I definitely always try to not have it that way. So now that the boys are bigger, I definitely have them involved in the cooking, and they love cooking and baking anyway. But like this whole thing that it has to be this elaborate lunch or dinner or whatever it is, it doesn't sit right with me. Like if I can Like in our case, chuck it on the barbecue. That's
Yeah.
great. At least my husband gets to do the job as well. So it's just, yeah, it's we have to enjoy Christmas too. I totally agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's so much fun when everyone's involved. Like
Yeah.
we've had since that Christmas 5 years ago, we've had people, because I was cooking for weeks and freezing stuff and everything. And since then we've had all hands on deck. Whoever's been staying with us has peeled potatoes, and my father-in-law's a great potato peeler, veggie peeler. We've got my mother-in-law helping with the kids, with the boys, while we're preparing. She's keeping them busy, or they're getting involved. They're doing little tweaks. Maybe they're decorating the tree, and I don't know, just because we have been known to put the tree up
And
on
this is when
Christmas
new
Eve
traditions
before.
can, yeah, new traditions can be born that way when you hand it over. It's,
Yeah.
like then it becomes a tree. I mean, in my childhood, it was my task to decorate the tree. And when I left the house, my mom also told me, "Oh, I don't like that. Like who's doing the tree now? Like this was your job. This was also part of the tradition." And now I'm kind of trying to see how we can create those traditions in our house by just handing off some of the jobs that we've got to do, and then it becomes their part of their tradition as well. Yeah, love
Absolutely.
that.
But knowing that they don't have to be done at any specific time, or you don't necessarily have to put the tree up on a certain day,
Oh
or
yeah,
you don't
exactly.
necessarily
Love that.
have to go to a certain
Yeah. We
party
put
just
we
because
put
something's
Christmas
been bought.
decorations up since Halloween, because
Have
my
you?
little one, he loved Halloween, and because the Halloween stuff is inside the Christmas box, had to take the Christmas box down. He saw the Christmas stuff. Halloween was finished. He immediately was like, "I want to put Christmas things." So
Yeah.
we already took some, not everything, but we put some out and already have Christmas decorations up, which for me is like, what the heck? It's 21st of November right now. So why would we do that? But it made him happy. So yeah, it's okay. He gets his stuff now.
I
Yeah.
have to admit, I am a bit of one. I hate glitter. I absolutely hate glitter. I hate how it gets everywhere. It's probably like, me not liking sand.
Yes, you have a thing.
It gets everywhere. And so we do tend to put it up around the 10th of December, depending on what we're doing. If we're busy that day, then, we'll wait a week. And as I said, we've put it up on Christmas Eve before. For the last 2 years, I've actually taken the tree down on the 27th of December. I'm like, right, it's
I'm done.
coming down. We're having a clean house, new year, like fresh, all fresh. And to me and my husband, that feels really good. Although I think my
Then that's what
husband
it
would
is.
like it up a little bit longer, but
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
well. Yeah.
it's
Love that.
yeah,
All
it's
right. Well, I
no,
think that was day 3 today. Thanks again for tuning in. The next video will be out in 2 days. And yeah, I hope you're getting in the Christmas spirit with us and you enjoy the videos we're sharing with you.
and look forward to seeing you in the Facebook group as well, where more magic happens.
Exactly.
Take
Bye
care,
now.
everyone. See you soon. Bye.